The market has been bleeding. Yes. Stocks have been breaking heavy support and heavy demand zones. Yes. There's a hope. Probably. And are there still companies holding strong? There are a few, and I want to go over one with you guys tonight. Okay, guys, so I want to look at Dollar Tree. Now, I made a video a couple weeks back about Dollar Tree because they are selling Family Dollar for $1 billion to a private equity firm. And I told you guys to watch this stock because that news could potentially, rock the stock a little bit, probably take it up a little bit, or depending on how the acquisition went, it could have made some movement to it. But I don't even want to talk about that. Now, since the second, which was Liberation Day, the tariffs were put in place, we see what has been happening. The market is bleeding like crazy, and stocks are breaking 52-week lows. Okay, you got 52-week high, and you have 52-week lows. And there's a lot of companies that are breaking the hell out of their 52-week lows. However, Dollar Tree, I want to look at a 14-year level that Dollar Tree has not been under in 14 years. And so the reason I want to look at it is because actually I was going over here to my computer to close out my Webull desktop app, and I just so happened to notice that it been touching this level for a little bit. So I had it on a higher time frame. I said, you know what, let me go a little bit further. Went to the monthly chart, and it's told me everything that I need to know. Now I don't know how I missed it when I was looking at this the first time 2 weeks back, but now I want to talk about it. So what I want you guys to do is to put it on your radar and to do your own due diligence and make your own decision on whether or not you want to enter into a play. Now, I will say, because I've been telling my mentees, I am not even worried about calls right now until we see what is going to take place and how the market is going to move. But there are some companies that may not bleed too much because there are companies that these tariffs and these trade wars affect more than they do others. Okay, but Dollar Tree is really holding strong at this level that it's literally tried to get back under recently. And what I want to do is take you guys to the charts, to the charts. Now, something that I do want to mention is that about 35-40% of Dollar Tree's goods come from China. So this announcement of these tariffs most definitely will have some effect on the stock, and it has, because if you look up here, okay, at the top I have the 5-minute time frame, and it is currently under the 200 EMA. Okay, it's trending under the 200 EMA, as you guys can see. Okay, now you guys see this little level down here. I'm going to bring it up just a little bit. Okay. This level down here is where we're going to be looking at. But I wanted to mention that, the goods come from China. Well, some of it is because you need to understand what stocks are being affected by the tariffs for the most part. Because the more talk to trade war, the higher tariffs get, and the more talk about it, companies, who have that direct import coming from these different countries will see effect. That's why Apple is pouring down the way that it is. Nike, Caterpillar, Deere, and other car companies as well, automotive companies. So that's just something to keep in mind. Now, this is what I saw when I was about to close out the app not too long ago. And I said, okay, I saw this here and I saw this hit here. And I actually had this here on the 1 hour time frame, and I kind of saw those hits. So I said, you know what, let me look at the monthly real quick. Now, this bottom is the monthly, all right? And I got to put my lines now. I got to try to get my levels to make sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing. And that is exactly what these two blue lines here and these are the demand zones that I was looking at. But let's zoom it in. The first thing I want you guys to see, you guys see this here? This is where Dollar Tree was. We're down here, and we're pushing up. If you don't understand how time frames work, one candle equals 1 month at this bottom. Okay, if I say I'm on the 5-minute time frame, one candle equals 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, a new candle is formed. But on the monthly, a candle is only formed every month. Okay, so each one of these candles are equal to 1 month. Okay, that's all that is. Now we're gonna zoom this in a little bit, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean by 14 years that this thing has not been under it. So the last time Dollar Tree was below, okay, let me say that, below That $60 level was in 2014. Okay, as you guys can see here, right up in here, what is this? This is October 31st, 2014. And then that following month in November, it finally broke. Now, something that you need to understand as well is that something that was once resistance will become support. Resistance is something it just can't break. It's that ceiling that it can't break. And support is where that stocks will find a bit of a cushion to potentially bounce and push it back up. Okay. So support right up in here. Okay, you see what this line is? This is the resistance under here where it couldn't get up. And then above that will act as a support to where every time the stock kind of hits that level, it does not break it, or it may break it. A little bit of overkill, but then it pushes back up. But it does not see a drastic drop below it. Okay, so when we come up here, now that was 2014, October, and then it broke in November. And if we come over, you see here, remember, this is 1 month. They tried it again in 2015. We were back at this lower level here. It did not fully break and it pushed all the way back up. Came down a little bit, not too close to it, but this was again in 2017. We pushed back up. Now look at this. We came back. What year was this? 2020, during the pandemic. And what happened? It pushed back up. We're back here again. This is where we are now. So that first hit was in 2024, last year. It came again. So we got, let's see, we got September. And let's see, it came back down in November, again in March. So that was last month, and we're back here again in April. And it has yet to break that level that it has not broken in years. So this right here is a strong indication that we could potentially be expecting a bounce to push back up. Now, this is why I say we're going to have to see what the market is looking like, because even though we have such heavy level of support right here, support can be broken at any time. Resistance can be broken at any time. And so we want to see how things go. But considering how it went, when we come back up here to the 5 minute time frame, all of this up in here is just Friday, okay? When we come back here, this was the 4th, and this was at 9:35. We were back down here at that same level that's here, okay? And what happened? It pushed up, came down just a little bit sideways, pushed back up again, and it still played out over that level and did not push back down there. So this right here is just a continuance to continually showing you that, okay, that level is support. We could probably expect to push back up from there. How much we're going to push, you just never know. You have to watch your level. So if this is support, if let's just let me say this too. If I decide to get into a call, it will not be some 1 week, 2 week, 3 week type of thing. I'm looking at anywhere between 60 to 90-day expiration, potentially a leap, because the way the market is rocking, the way it's bleeding, we don't know what's going to happen. And so the most important thing when it comes to options or when you're swing trading is to have time on your side. Time is everything, because that gives the play time to play out. So as the market stabilizes, things start pushing back up, then we can begin to see these companies rally back up. And now what we were waiting for is starting to play out. And because we got our expiration so far out, we didn't have to worry about our play expiring while it still was making its move. Okay, so make sure if you are looking at this that your expiration date is far enough to give things time to get back where it was and to kind of correct itself over time. But we just don't know how long it's going to go. But personally, I feel like we still have some bleeding to do on the market before things really start to get back to where they need to be. Okay, so keep that in mind. So let's see, 122. Now I put that there as a resistance. Why? You guys see up in here, come up some. You guys see how we hit there? It did not break, and it pushed back down to this level here, and then it pushed back up again. It did not break this 122 level. It tried it again some more time. Remember, these are monthly candles, okay? We got 2018, 2019. All of this is 2020, 2020 to 2021 up in here. It could not get back over that level. That is why I have this red line here. But we're currently at 60s, okay? Pushing all the way up to 122 is not going to be a fast track thing. And to be quite honest with you, I don't quite see it happening in the next 30 to 60 days at all. So I said, you know what? I need to come down a little bit and look for another heavy level. And that is what this blue line is here, which is, let me see, it's around 81.35. Okay, you guys see where we were trying to get over that and it's not getting over that. That's where I looked at that as a heavy level, kind of up in here. It didn't push all the way down, but we have some attempts right in this same zone here again. Okay, and then we come back over, we got some more attempts here. So this right here, as you can see at the top, it's acting as a support level. But when you get down here, it's currently acting as a resistance level. So if I were to set my target, it would be for this to run up. Let's just say if I did hold it as a lead, to hold for a few months, to go from where we currently are up to about $81. That's about, $20 move, almost a $20 move. But it could take time. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you're here for a quickie, this one is not a quickie play. Okay, it could take time. So this is just how you come in, find your levels, set your targets, and see where there were heavy levels of support or resistance to where if I were to get in here and I say, okay, it does eventually hit 80, I'm like, maybe I need to get out here. Maybe it's time to close that play because of how heavy this resistance has been in the past. And until it breaks that level, then I get back into another call and then potentially set my sights on 122 as my next play. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So find the support, you enter into calls at support and you exit at resistance. Okay, you enter into puts at resistance and then you exit your put at support. I hope you got it, okay? Because that's going to be super important. That's all about using support and resistance to enter and exit your plays. It also helps you time the plays because timing your entry is going to be hella important. Because when you are timing your entries well, we will find yourself having some really well planned out plays because you know that this is a heavy level and you know that the bulls are going to step in, push it up to resistance, and that's your cue to come out and you rinse and repeat. However you like to play the game, but you have to pay attention to your level so that you are not caught in any reversal when the signs were clearly there. And it's simply coming to higher time frame so that you know where to get in and get out or where the heavy levels are. Come to your smaller time frames and kind of use that as your guide, as your daily play. So with this being a longer outplay, I really wouldn't fully be watching the 5 minute time frame. I would more be watching like my 1 hour time frame, or I would be coming to my 4 hour time frame. But I would not be watching anything in the minutes when it comes to doing a swing trade that I'm looking to hold for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. Okay. So that's why it's important to understand what time frames to look at when you are watching your plays. Keep Dollar Tree on your radar still, even if you saw my last video that I did. I don't think it was on YouTube, but I posted it up. So that is just a level to watch. It is at a very heavy level of support. If it does break that level, we can definitely expect it to start coming back down, okay? Well, further down. But I'm kind of confident it's going to hold. But hey, it's the market and you just never know.